everyone, it's me again, Maria, and welcome to my channel. So for this video, we're going to discuss all about solving quadratic equation by completing the square. Remember, when dealing with quadratic equation, we have our standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are real numbers, and a is not equal to 0. Okay? So, take a look at this. We have A, B, and C. Yung pinaka-A natin siya yung quadratic term, yung may square. Okay, kita niyo yung may square. And our 2x here is our linear term. And negative 63 is the constant. Okay? So, what are we going to do when dealing with completing the square? Remember, when solving quadratic equation and completing the square, palagi nyo itong tatandaan. B over 2 squared. Yes, gagamitin natin yan. Okay? And the first thing to do is ihiwalay natin si constant. We're going to transpose it to the other side. So, ganito. We have x squared plus 2x. Mag-leave lang tayo ng blank dito. Is equal to negative 63 becomes positive 63. So, ano pong ilalagay natin dito, ma'am? Bakit tayo naglagay ng blank? Dito na papasok itong formula na gagamitin natin for completing the square. Now, a is equal to 1 kasi wala namang numerical coefficient si x squared. Automatically, 1 yon. So, we have b is equal to 2 and c is equal to negative 63. So, gamitin natin yung formula. Ang hinahanap lang natin dito ay si b. Okay? So, we're going to use 2 over 2 squared. So, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So, 1 times 1 is equal to 1. Yun na po yung ilalagay natin, both sides. Kung anong ilalagay natin dito, ganun din, lalagyan din natin yung kabila. For example, we have positive 1 and positive 1. Okay? The next thing to do is, nakuha na natin si perfect square trinomial. So, ma'am, how are we going to factor a perfect square trinomial? So, gawin muna natin ganito. Maglagay tayo ng dalawang parentheses. X times x. Yun yung pinaka-factor ni x squared, x times x. When you're going to factor, always consider the constant term and the second term. Okay? Iisipin natin kung ano ba ang factor ni 1, wherein alam naman natin na 1 times 1 yun, di ba? And dapat, kapag inad natin sila, si 2 yung magiging sagot. So, 1 times 1, factor ni 1, 1 times 1, or negative 1 times negative 1. Tama? 1 times 1 is positive 1, negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Pero, pag inad ba natin si negative 1 plus negative 1, positive 2 ba ang magiging sagot? Hindi. Kapag inad natin si 1 plus 1, positive 2 ba? Alright, tama. Yun na yung magiging factor natin. X plus 1 is equal to 63 plus 1 is 64. Okay? The next thing to do, since parehas sila, so you can see x plus 1, i-square lang natin siya. Isa lang yung kukunin natin. Then, lalagyan natin siya ng square is equal to 64. Yan yung tinatawag nating perfect square trinomial. Okay? So, next thing to do, dito na papasok si extracting the square roots. We're going to extract square roots. So, we have square root of x plus 1 squared. Remember, kapag naglagay ka ng square root sa kabila, kailangan maglalagay din tayo ng square root sa kabila. Alright. And then, what are we going to do is to cancel square root and squared. So, natira na lang si x plus 1 is equal to positive and negative. Square root of 64 is equal to 8. So, we have x plus 1 is equal to positive and negative 8. By that, magkakaroon tayo ng 2 solutions in here. And we're going to find those solutions. So, we have x plus 1 is equal to positive 8. Paghiwalay na natin si positive and negative 8. And x plus 1 is equal to negative 8. Ayan, no? positive 8 and negative 8. Kaya yan may positive and negative kasi meron tayong dalawang solutions. So, we have x, kunin lang natin si x, is equal to 8, then transpose positive 1, it will become negative 1. And then, the answer is equal to 7. While dito naman sa kabila, x is equal to negative 8, then transpose positive 1, it will become negative 1. And then x is equal to negative 8 minus 1 is equal to negative 9. So, yun. Ito na yung pinaka-sagot natin. So, take a look at this another example. We have x squared plus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. So, first thing to do is to transpose our constant term to the other side. Okay? So, we have x squared plus 6x and leave it a blank equal to positive 5 becomes negative 5. Yes, when we transpose to the other side, we're going to change the sign always. Okay? So, next thing to do is to use our formula. For completing the square, we have b over 2 squared is equal to, remember we have a, b, and c. Ang ating b is equal to 6. That's why 6 yung gagamitin natin. So, 6 over 2 squared. So, yun, 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3 squared. And then 3 squared is equal to 9. And that's it. Yan na yung ilalagay natin both sides. So, we have plus 9 and negative 5 plus 9. So, we've created already a perfect square trinomial in this. And the next thing to do is to factor this out. Since it is a perfect square trinomial, ang factor ni 9 is 3 times 3. And then, isa-isahin natin, no? So, we have yan. X plus 3, x plus 3. Since automatically ang factor ni 9 is 3 times 3 is equal to 9. And 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. Okay? Is equal to negative 5 plus 9 is positive 4. And then x plus 3 and x plus 3, we're going to square it since parehas lang naman sila. So, we have x plus 3 squared is equal to positive 4. And the next thing to do is to extract square root. We have square root of x plus 3 squared is square root of 4. Next is to cancel it out para makancel natin si squared. And natira nilang si x plus 3. And the answer is positive and negative. Square root of 4 is 2. Right? So, we have x plus 3 is equal to positive and negative 2. Next is to find their solutions. We have two solutions. Hanapin natin. We have x plus 3 is equal to positive 2. And x plus 3 is equal to negative 2. Since dalawa sila, pinag-iwalay lamang natin. And then x is equal to 2. Transpose positive 3 since we are just going to find x. So, we have negative 3. And 2 minus 3 is equal to negative 1. So, yan na yung first solution natin. Next is we have x is equal to negative 2. Transpose positive 3, it will become negative 3. And then x is equal to negative 2 minus 3 is equal to negative 5. So, take a look at this another example. We have x squared minus 9x plus 8 is equal to 0. So, first thing to do is to transpose the constant term to the other side. So, we have x squared minus 9x. And then, leave it a blank is equal to positive 8 becomes negative 8. Okay? And then, we're going to get the third term in here and able for us to create a perfect square trinomial. So, we have the formula b over 2 squared is equal to, our b is negative 9, alright? Then, negative 9 over 2 squared. And since hindi naman natin madidivide si negative 9 kay 2, square natin sila both numerator and denominator. Remember kapag fraction, okay? And meron siyang square dito. Both numerator and denominator yung i-square natin. So, we have negative 9 times negative 9 is equal to 81. And then, 2 times 2 or 2 squared is equal to 4. 81 over 4. So, yun yung ilalagay natin both sides. So, we have plus 81 over 4 plus 81 over 4. So, next thing to do is to factor out this perfect square trinomial. Isa-isahin na lang muna ulit natin. So, we have x squared minus 9x plus 81 over 4. Remember, when you're going to factor, always consider this in the second term, okay? Since ang square root ni 81 over 4 is negative 9 over 2, and as you can see, negative tayo dito, meaning to say both negative, ayan, negative sila pareho. And then, of course, x times x palagi. So, ang gagawin natin is, ito na lang yung kukunin natin na factor. Negative 9 over 2. So, we have negative 9 over 2 and negative 9 over 2. Take a look at this. Negative 9 half times negative 9 half is equal to negative 9 times negative 9 is 81 over 4. Since 2 times 2 is 4. Tama ba? Yes, tama. Sa third term natin. And then, negative 9 half plus negative 9 half is equal to negative 9 minus 9 is negative 18 over, and since this is addition, ikakopy lang natin si denominator which is 2. Alright? So, negative 8 divided by 2 is equal to negative 9. Tama ba siya sa second term? Yes, tama. Okay? Meaning to say, tama yung kinuha nating factor which is ito. So, we have negative 8 plus 81 over 4. Since ang ating denominator is 4 and this is automatically 1, our LCD becomes 4. Tama? And then 4 divided by 1 is equal to 4 times negative 8 is equal to negative 32. And then 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1 times 81 is equal to positive 81. Tama? So, square na lang natin to since parehas lang naman silang x minus 9 over 2. So, we have x minus 9 over 2 squared is equal to, copy lang natin si 4, negative 32 plus 81 is equal to positive 49. Next thing to do is to extract square roots. So, we have square root of x minus 9 half squared is equal to square root of 49 over 4. So, cancel out square root. We have x minus 9 half equal to, remember, kapag fraction yung square root natin, it is represented also by this. Square root of 49 over square root of 4. Right? So, our square root of 49 is 7. Tama? And square root of 4 is 2. Remember to put positive and negative. The next step is to find the two solutions. Yung hanapin na natin si x. So, we have x minus 9 over 2 is equal to positive 7 over 2. And x minus 9 over 2 is equal to negative 7 over 2. Since pinaghiwalay natin si positive and negative, enable for us to find two solutions. So, we have x is equal to, copy lang natin si 7 over 2. And then, negative 9 over 2, it will become positive 9 over 2. Tama? And then, x is equal to, remember kapag addition of fraction, kapag parehas ng denominator, ikakopy lang natin siya as sa denominator. And of course, we're just going to add 7 plus 9. So, 7 plus 9 is equal to 16. And then, the answer is x is equal to 16 divided by 2 is 8. So, that's it. Next is here. So, we have x is equal to, copy lang natin si negative 7 over 2. Then, si negative 9 over 2 magiging positive 9 over 2. Kasi tinranspose natin siya. And then, since we're going to add, and parehas lang sila ng denominator, copy the denominator which is 2. And then, negative 7 plus 9 is positive 2. And then, 2 divided by 2, our x is equal to 1. And that's it already. We have two solutions, x is equal to 8 and x is equal to 1. Okay, so take a look at this another example. We have 3x squared minus 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. As you can see in our equation, meron tayong numerical coefficient nandito sa ating a. What are we going to do kapag ganyan yung equation is, i-eliminate natin si 3. But first, ilipat muna natin si constant term to the other side. So we have 3x squared minus 2x and leave it a blank equal to negative 6 becomes positive 6. Okay. So next thing to do is eliminate 3 by dividing both sides by 3. So we have to divide this by 3. Then, cancel 3. X squared. And then, since hindi man natin madidivide si 2 kay 3, it will become negative 2 third x. Leave it a blank. So we have 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2. Okay? And then next, ito na yung pinaka-equation natin. Gamitin na naman natin ngayon si b over 2 squared. Right? Since ang b natin is negative 2 third, ito na yung b natin. So we have negative 2 third over 2 squared. Ano yan, ma'am? Parang ang hirap naman po niyang gawin. Hindi siya mahirap, okay? Kapag ganito yung situation, automatically si 2 lalagyan natin ng denominator which is 1. Ita-times lang natin siya by its reciprocal. Like for example, negative 2 third times, since 2 over 1 siya, pagbabalik na rin natin siya, magiging 1 over 2 siya. Mumultiply natin si numerator sa reciprocal ni denominator. Okay? And then, squared. Next thing to do is to multiply negative 2 third to 1 half since negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. Squared. I-simplify si negative 2 over 6. I-divide natin siya by 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. Then, may squared pa tayo, okay? So, negative 1 times negative 1, since kailangan nating squared both numerator and denominator, we have positive 1. And 3 times 3 is equal to 9. And that's it already. Yan na yung i-add natin dito and dito sa kabila. So, we have plus 1 over 9 and plus 1 over 9. We've created already a perfect square trinomial. So, gawin na natin yung kailangan natin gawin. Char. Okay. So, we have, ang factor ng x squared natin is always x times x. Okay. Since ito ay negative and positive, automatically, ang ating sign or operation in here is negative. Okay? And of course, given naman na si negative 1 third, kapag minultiply natin, it will become 1 over 9 or itong ating constant. Meaning to say, siya na yung gagamitin natin as the factor of 1 over 9. And kahit i-check natin yan kay negative 2 third, since di ba dapat pag nagfa-factor tayo, kailangan kapag minultiply natin, the answer is 1 over 9 or yung pinaka-constant. And kapag naman pinag-add natin, the answer will be the second term. Okay? Try natin ipag-add. Negative 1 third plus negative 1 third is equal to negative 1 third. And positive times negative is negative 1 third. The answer will be, so negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Copy lang natin si denominator. Okay, so ito na ba yung ating second term? Yes, tama. So, ganun lang kasimple. Kung pinaka-given na siya, as yun na yung pinaka-factor natin. Okay? And then, let's add 2 plus 1 over 9. Since ito ay automatically meron siyang denominator na 1. And then, ito ay 9. So, meaning to say, ang ating LCD is 9. And 9 divided by 1 is 9 times 2 is 18. 9 divided by 9 is 1 times 1 is positive 1. Okay. Right after that, x square na natin to since parehas lang naman sila. Anyway, pwede naman na natin siyang idiretso as ganito. X minus 1 third squared. Kaya ko lang siya in-extract muna na ganito is para makita nyo kung bakit ba nilalagyan ng squared. Okay? And then 18 plus 1 is 19 over 9. So next thing to do is to extract square root. So we have square root of x minus 1/3 and of course sa kabila. So we have to cancel it out. So x minus 1/3 is equal to, as you can see, ang representation ng fraction natin in regards with square root is ganito. Square root of 19 and square root of 9 over, since square root of 9 is 3. Okay, so next thing to do is to get the solutions. We have two solutions. I forgot, we have positive and negative square root of 19 over 3. So we have x minus 1/3 is equal to positive square root of 19 over 3. And we have x minus 1/3 and negative, since positive and negative, square root of 19 over 3. So we have square root of 19 over 3, copy lang. Si negative 1/3 magiging positive 1/3. And of course, we have x is equal to negative square root of 19 over 3. Si negative 1/3 magiging positive 1/3 since transpose natin siya to the other side. And since hindi na natin siya masisimplify, ito na yung pinaka sagot natin. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you have learned something from this tutorial. And if you do, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share it with your friends. Okay? So, yun lang. Thank you so much and God bless everyone.